Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another Walking Dead video. So in this one here, I actually wanted to talk about the comics and the animated series that everyone wants, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be happening anytime soon just because of, well, what Robert Kirkman just said. So let's actually break down his comments here. So before we go any further, obviously make sure to be a subscriber if you do want to get all my Walking Dead content like this. I'm actually, I just posted my episode 5 and 6 review. I had to combine both reviews because, yeah, I took a break yesterday. I had a bunch of stuff I had to do, and so I just I watched episode 6 and I was like, well, I might as well just combine both of them in a review, but I will be actually reviewing 7 and 8 just as I was with the previous episodes separately. So my episode 7 review of Fallout will be out later on today, and then I'm hoping for episode 8, but we'll have to wait and see. That might be out tomorrow. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this series right now. I'm having a lot of fun with it. If you haven't checked out Fallout yet, I really recommend doing it. It's a very amazing apocalyptic story. And I also wanted to say thank you as well to those that are actually checking out the Fallout videos and all that, because obviously I want to start doing other types of content and all of that. And Fallout, like, it has to be something that I'm very, very interested in, you know, in order for me to actually want to cover it. And Fallout is something that I'm actually very interested in. So yeah, that's been a lot of fun to actually do. And the response honestly has been really amazing. And yeah, it's actually been really, really fun to discuss just a different type of story here. So anyways, yeah, just wanted to say thank you. But the big thing here in terms of another apocalyptic story here with The Walking Dead is that Robert Kirkman actually discussed, or he actually responded to a fan's question in the letter hacks section of the Walking Dead comic. He responded to the question of, you know, will we ever see a Walking Dead animated series at some point here? And his response here, and again, I'll leave a link down below to the article here. I got this from comicbook.com. Definitely go check out the article. But yeah, his response to the question of whether or not we could ever see an actual, you know, adaptation that followed the comic so closely in like an animated series or something kind of similar to like Invincible, right? His response is, I'd love to see it happen someday, but I don't think it'll be possible until I get the rights back from AMC, Kirkman wrote in a response to a fan who asked about a Walking Dead animated show in the Letter Hacks column of The Walking Dead Deluxe number 85. Skybound's The Walking Dead editor Amanda LaFranco added, there's definitely been developments over the years for something like this, and there's a lot of fans over here that would still very much love to make that happen. So, very, very interesting that that part was included in here, because I will say, personally, I really want an animated Walking Dead comic series to be told. I want AMC to do it because that's, you know, how we're going to get it. You know, I don't see AMC really giving the rights back to The Walking Dead for, I mean, I don't know, decades. Like, are they really going to do that? I don't see them doing that. You know, I really don't see Skybound getting the rights back to be able to do like TV shows and films and all that, you know, and I guess sign with someone else. Like, I know they're with Prime right now for Invincible. So like, you know, maybe signing with like Prime again to do a Walking Dead animated series. I just don't see that really ever happening. And you know, I would really love to see this happen. I feel like, you know, there's been a lot of stuff that's been happening between AMC and Robert Kirkman that's been very unfortunate, you know, as a fan, because I love Robert Kirkman. I do love AMC. You know, they're responsible for creating the Walking Dead TV show and everything that we have. You know, like, they're the ones that actually made the show happen. You know, when you actually look at the very, you know, beginnings of The Walking Dead in terms of where they were actually going to take the pilot to, a lot of people said no. A lot of people said no. HBO, I mean, there was a lot of networks that said no. AMC said yes, and for AMC, they wanted Andrew Lincoln to play Rick Grimes, you know? So when you just look at a lot of that and, you know, the risk that they took to take The Walking Dead on and make it what they made it, and also with just how successful it is now, like with all the spinoffs, we just got The Ones Who Live and everything, you know? If The Walking Dead went to any other network, I doubt we have what we have right now. So that's why, you know, I love AMC for what they've done with the Walking Dead franchise. And obviously with Robert Kirkman, he created The Walking Dead. The Walking Dead comic is such an amazing story. His writing for these stories just makes everything feel so authentic, and it's something that I just, you know, I miss the comics. I miss original Walking Dead stories again. Like, the Walking Dead Deluxe series, it's been fun to sort of, I haven't actually collected them in a long time, which maybe I should. You know, I missed the last like 40 or 50 issues. I was doing pretty good. I got up to like, what, 30 or 40 around that range, and then I just kind of forgot about everything. It's been a couple of years. And obviously it's because it's still the same story, right? Like, it's still the same Walking Dead story. And I want to see brand new stories. I do. I really want to collect Walking Dead comics, and I don't know what Kirkman is really waiting for in terms of that. I mean, I guess he did tell the story completely, so maybe he he is actually done, I don't know. I mean, if he's done, obviously he spent years and years doing that. So I guess I shouldn't say what is he waiting for. I mean, it's been like what, almost 5 years, whatever, since the Walking Dead comic ended. So yeah, I mean, I guess like, he did his job, right? Like he actually told a really amazing zombie apocalypse story. So he doesn't really ever have to return to it if he doesn't want to. It's just me as a fan, I want more stories, and I want more stories that I can be excited about, and then obviously be so excited about the fact that, well, what if AMC, can tell a story like that, just tell more Walking Dead stories. And, in terms of his comments regarding the rights and all of that, and, eventually getting the rights back from AMC, I don't think that's really ever going to happen, personally. Like, at least not for another, 20 years? Like, is it going to happen in the next 5 to 10 years? No, I do not see that happening. There's just no way possible unless maybe AMC got bought by another company and then, they just stopped making Walking Dead stuff because they're like, you know what, we don't want to make Walking Dead stuff. And maybe just, if a certain amount of time goes by, then maybe the rights would go back to Skybound and then they would eventually be able to tell those stories, right? But I feel like that's going to be a 20 to 30 year process. Like, I don't see it happening in the next 10 years, like for sure. And depending on the success of these spin-offs and everything and how everything sort of ends in this new era, which again is probably going to be the next 5 to 10 years here, what happens afterwards? They could do a Walking Dead Next Generation story. Like they're just going to have these rights for a long time. And it's obviously it's their most successful franchise, right? Or it seems like it anyways. So I'm just like, they're never going to give that up because they can make so much from this, right? Like so much. So for me, I feel like what's really unfortunate with a lot of this, and again, I'm not picking sides in all of this, but it's just the fact that Robert Kirkman and AMC don't seem to really be getting along right now. I know that there was a bunch of stuff happening and all of that. I just as a fan, again, it's unfortunate because I love Walking Dead stories, and that's all I want from all of this is just really amazing Walking Dead stories. And so to me, if we're ever going to get an animated series at this point, it seems like it's going to have to be done with AMC. And I don't know why specifically it can't happen right now in terms of the rights, in terms of animation with like the comics and stuff like that, because they're able to tell stories from the comic, but is that not animation? Does that not count? Are you not able to tell an exact like story from the comic? Like, is there certain things with, AMC's rights over The Walking Dead where they're not allowed to tell an actual, like an exact like story from the comic? Do they have to change stuff up? You know what I mean? So I have a lot of questions on that because technically AMC, if they wanted to do an animated series, they could just do it right now, but maybe they actually can't. So maybe there are some things here. And so Robert Kirkman saying that, for me, that's just, it's unfortunate. And again, I'm not picking sides in all of this here. I want to see an animated series happen at some point. I think it would be really amazing. You could easily do like 6, 7, 8 seasons of that, right? Like you could tell that whole story of The Walking Dead from the very beginning all the way to the Commonwealth arc where, we see Rick die at the end, and tell that completely in an animated series just like Invincible. I think it would be really incredible. I think you could actually do something like that would be very successful and a lot of fans would really like, because there's a lot of differences in the comic. First of all, Rick and Michonne, they're not together. It's Rick and Andrea. And so that would be totally different. That's going to throw a lot of people off, right? We actually get a conclusion to the story. Rick actually will die. Judith dies very early on, but Carl's going to be alive all the way until the end. Carol dies very early on, but a lot of other characters like kind of make it to the end. Daryl will not be a character. Like, there's so many different changes here that I feel like it's actually worth telling because it changes the characters so much. And I think a lot of people would be really excited about it. Again, I think if they were to do an actual like TV show version, a reboot, technically that would be, in that case, of The Walking Dead, I think a lot of people wouldn't be fans of that. But because it's animated, it's just a different telling of the story. It's the original telling of the story, technically, right from the comic. So I think it would be really incredible. And I hope that we do eventually get to see this. It's definitely very sad to see, just all the stuff that has been happening and all of that with Robert Kirkman and AMC. I haven't talked about a lot on the channel just because it's not really related to The Walking Dead too much, but obviously in this case it kind of is, because in terms of, future projects like this, I guess they can't really do it. I don't know. It's definitely very unfortunate, but anyways, I'm gonna leave it here. definitely post all your thoughts down below. Would you like to see a Walking Dead animated series at some point here? And based off of Robert Kirkman's comments, do you think it's possible? Again, I'll have my follow-up videos coming out very, very soon, episode 7, and I'm hoping episode 8. It would be really nice to be able to actually finish the series entirely today, so I'll see. But for sure, episode 7, and then tomorrow for sure we'll be done the entire series, and I can do my full series review, because I know a lot of people are waiting for that. I've seen those comments. People just want my full series review, not necessarily episode reviews, but to me that's just not a lot of fun because I just kind of go through it so fast, and this is kind of why I like watching episodes weekly. I think binging all of it is just way too fast, and yeah, there's no excitement. Plus, I have no time to like binge anything. I prefer to watch it week to week, and then it just makes it easier for me. But anyways, post your thoughts down below. Hope you guys all enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.